This is Salamancer, and if you're a dude and you choose to dress like this medic does, I guess that's cool. You know, more power to you. We have a game anyway between the Immortal 6 and the Carl Sagan Foundation. Two pretty awesome teams so far. They are in the open playoffs. That's what we're watching right now, the ESEA open playoffs. But the thing is, this is the lower bracket, so whoever loses this game is out. And we were talking before, actually, about, well, I'll go into that later, because it looks like right now the medic's getting bombed, but they take out the soldier. No, they don't! I am so stupid. No, that soldier actually, that was Jay Beneducci, I think, ended up taking down somebody before he died. So, Carl Sagan Foundation, Team Cosmos, is managing to push their opponents back out through the choke. It's 5 versus 3 right now, so a good position. But this choke is so narrow that if they try to walk through it, they could be in some serious trouble. Unless their opponents just dance back all the way into their base, which is what's happening. And, wait. Oh, okay. No, I thought he was actually in the base. That was kind of weird. Anyway, oh, nice stickies here. And Top Shotout comes in and helps out Control Muffin. So they are going to go on to the second point. Carl Sagan Foundation could end up going to an early lead if they can get the frags and protect their medic. The Uber is popped for both teams here a little bit later on the blue. But blue has actually lost 2 players in the midst of this Uber, and they are backing out furiously. I6 now on the offensive. What I was saying before about these teams, and the... Ooh, Jay Beneducci going for a bomb again. Not working. What I was saying before is that the Immortal 6 lost one of their first playoff matches, I think, to black people, or maybe their second. But it's now lower round 3. I don't even know who Carl Sagan lost to, but both of these teams are in the lower bracket. And if Immortal 6 wins this, they're going to go on to face black people again in the next round of the lower bracket, just so they can get up to have a chance of getting in that Grand Championship. Immortal 6 have pushed all the way back from their second point now to their opponent's second point. Their fourth. I should start calling it fourth more, because I guess it makes more sense from the attacking team's perspective. Second to fourth. And the Immortal 6 now pushing in to last. They've got to watch out, though, because they don't have a pick yet. They really... Oh, this is probably not a good idea. They're pushing into last, but the problem is they've abandoned their demo here because the Pyro is keeping the medic away. Demo's doing some good kills. Eulogy hasn't even been shot yet, and they are getting timed down on the point. They've gotten 3 kills so far. I know... Wow, you don't normally see this happen. They haven't taken down the heavy yet, but there you go. He is down. Ricky's going to come underneath the point and take the enemies by surprise. There you go. Face Roller and Menzal, the last 2 alive, and they die as well. 1-0, Immortal 6 versus the Carl Sagan Foundation. That was a ridiculous round. There's not a lot else to say about it, because usually, when you are pushing into last on Gullywash, Gullywash is a really difficult last point to push into. And is he running the Kritzkrieg? No, it's just a Festive Medican, I think. Alright. But yeah, usually it's a really difficult last point to push into, and so I'm very surprised. Oh, Ricky's going to do something sneaky here, taking the new drop down, and he's going to come right up behind now. The demo did spot him here, and his team's medic is already down, so he was trying to go for a medic pick. Maybe Huey is as well. Can they get it? Yes, I think they can, as Nenzal down. Huey died as well. It's 3 versus 3 now with the Carl Sagan Foundation looking hurt, and Open Veteran takes down Control Muffin. Scones, meanwhile, getting a kill on Beat, so it is still just crazy fighting with this midpoint, even though Carl Sagan Foundation holds it. I'm going to deal with some craziness. Oh, eats a pill! Doesn't matter. Apparently this pill was not quite enough to kill Scones, and he did end up taking down Eulogy. So nice kill. Eulogy was way overexposed there. So, Carl Sagan Foundation getting up in position to start taking maybe the second point. I think they had a scout up there, or maybe it was Jay, actually. Jay Beneducci up there at second point. Trying to capture it, and that didn't really work too well for him, but they are going to go push in again. And I've been having some trouble today that makes me want to eat pills as well, by the way. Just a little bit late on that pun, but I did actually have to pause just there because I've got allergies. And oh, look at this! Jay Beneducci on top of the medic once again, takes down Cranberry. 8 health left, can't get that equalizer off, but he already did his job as a roaming soldier. So now the Immortal 6, with that pick on Cranberry, they're going to push, or actually with the loss of Cranberry, they're going to push forward. They still have a lot of players left over, so Jay Beneducci not able to make enough happen there just yet, but it turns out the Carl Sagan Foundation will get away with it. They had the heal advantage, and they got a bunch of kills on it. Oh, Demo getting juggled, but the Uber's forced, interestingly enough. Nenzal, maybe he walked over a sticky, and he just saw he was not going to be able to get away from that, so he had to pop it. Not a fun situation now, because they don't have Uber advantage that they wanted after getting the kill on Cranberry. Doesn't matter, Face Roller helped cap that point, and now is already pushing into the lobby. Start to launch some rockets through that little hole into the last point. And let's just check out for a minute how this last point defense is set up. This is a pretty standard way to set it up. Your medic is going to stay close to the spawn doors, usually. Sometimes if he thinks he's a sniper, he might sit more around this little girder here. But he wants to keep a couple players healed, and usually pushes will come through here. Where there is a sniper watching right now, and there are sticky traps as well. So usually you're going to see the Uber popped through there, and the soldier's going to try and jump on top of the medic. So the medic wants to stay over here just to keep as much distance between him and that bombing soldier as possible. You do see a soldier occasionally getting aggressive up here, and Beat got a really good headshot, by the way. But yeah, this is going to be Ricky getting really aggressive on defense. Sometimes you'll do that up there, but you got to be careful that you don't get caught out, because if you end up losing the soldier out in front, then you're down 5 to 6. That is a pick that your enemies can push on. So anyway, Scones, will he come back up as an off-class? He does. He's going to try and counter-snipe Beat, and if he can get the pick on Beat, then again, that's going to be a 6-on-5 situation for Team Cosmos, and they will push in. So we just have to wait and see. It's like Jay Beneducci was actually respawning as well, maybe? Or, I don't know. But it's going to be Beat versus Scones right now, and Scones, where are you? Okay. And this is actually a really, really good play here by the defending team right now, the Immortal 6. I don't even think they realized at first that there was a sniper, but they knew they'd gotten... Oh, no! Never mind! Beat just got his head shaved off. And so now we're going to have Cosmos jumping in to probably attack. They're not doing it yet, interestingly enough. Okay, yeah, there you go. You hear the Uber sound going off just now. Scones gets a nice little hit there on the demo. Doesn't quite manage to finish him off, though. So he's going to go back and hit that cabinet perfectly fine. There will still be stickies on the point. The Uber's already over for Nenzal, and he's pulling out the needles now, but it is not going to be enough. He might almost get a kill. No, nowhere close. So, yeah, Nenzal, you are, you're a hero. You're a hero. If he can get away from this, he's a hero. Can he do it, though? Yes, he can. Wow. Okay. I like that. And by the way, I also like how the 5% on the screen didn't match up with the 4% on the HUD. That was pretty cute. But Nenzal somehow got away with that, and it's not going to matter much, you know. Instead of having like a 10% disadvantage, you'll have a 10% advantage. That's not huge. But hey, you know, did some damage, got away with the pretty sweet dodging there. But yeah, I liked the defense by I6. They, for a while, after they saw their opponents had lost a scout, and they weren't able to push out on that, they said, okay, well, you know what's going to happen here is they're going to come back with like a sniper or a spy. And so they immediately adjusted their defense. As soon as they got that pick, they said, nope, we're just going to avoid sniping at all costs. We are not going to get sniped. So the sniper came up, and they had actually predicted it pretty well, right up until Beat, you know, walked into his sniper rifle. And so Control Muffin is looking like he wants to get a little bit aggressive here. They've actually built a bigger advantage now, interestingly enough. They could push on that. And usually, in even the slightest Uber advantage situation, you usually want to push on the clock, but apparently that's not what they're doing. So they are just going to let the Uber build up to 100% for both teams. There is now Open Veteran on the Heavy. I don't know who Open Veteran is. I swear this guy is like not tagged up as his normal alias or something. Sticky traps on both sides of this wall, as usual. It's just kind of how these choke points end up working. They are so thin. I mean, it looks like if you detonated those, the wall would just explode. But then we wouldn't be playing Team Fortress 2. We'd be playing like Battlefield. Immortal 6 anyway. Sneaking in here with over on the sides. They've got nice kills on Top Shot actually. But here comes the no, not the roamer, the pocket. The medic is walking in through the flank, and that is a scary thing for a defending team. They need to make sure they respond to this appropriately, and so far they have. They've got most of their team not showing through the door, but they are doing some nice spam. And they do have the Heavy on the high ground, which is, by itself, is a really huge deal. He's going to have that nice, highly positioned anti-aircraft gun, forcing people's jumps to just go wild and completely miss their target. And somebody has told me that Open Veteran is Spades. So, thank you for that from my stream chat. That is actually Spades. And, yep, there you go. I do know that guy now. Let me mention it. Looks like Team Cosmos actually backs away towards mid, and Face Roller jumps away from that Heavy. Are they going to go for a back cap? That would be an interesting choice, and it looks like they are. It's going to be Medic and Soldier combo. At least those two, and the Demo actually going for this last point. So they just wrapped around. The problem is, oh no, they've actually taken down both Spades and Beat. No Heavy here, and now one of the soldiers missing. The Medic here was really out of position. That is Cranberry. After this Uber was over, he was way out of position there. I don't think they realized that they lost quite that many players, and so he could not retreat. As a result, that is going to be a big Uber advantage for the Cosmos. But there's such a player advantage right now, they're going to push in even without the Uber advantage. There's a Pyro up, and that's not even going to matter. He's not able to blast away anything. Pyro goes down, and Control Muffin is just going to start laying down some sticks on that point until they can get somebody on it. There goes Spades, but now it's 3 versus 2. Nope, there you go. Jay Beneducci with the capture on the point. So he brings that to 1-1. Pretty sure. With a lot of time left in the half, so of course everything can happen. And this is ESEA. They play 1st to 5 all caps, 5 points. And not a win difference of 5 like over in that crazy European scene. So they can have some much longer games if they have, you know, really stalemate-y maps. Like Gullywash can be pretty stalemate-y. Jay gets a nice kill on Eulogy, jumping straight in and takes down that demo man. But I6, I mean, it's about even players right now, and Beat is just all over the combo there. So he is distracting them furiously. And whoa, Cranberry just walked by a sticky trap there, but managed to get away from it. And now Spades chasing through that choke. Got to be really careful about when you do that. And every so often I am going to go silent. It's not because I'm, you know, trying to make an awkward silence between the two of us. I love you too much to do that. It's really because I have to, like, sneeze and other wonderful things. Immortal 6, though, I mean, I had to catch this game just because looking at the scores alone, it was pretty awesome. But the players, we have seen them develop through the season as well, so we gotta get these guys casted, right? We gotta do it. And it turns out that Griever had already casted this. I had not spotted that because I don't think it was on the ComFT YouTube channel. So this I think was casted by Griever. So if you've already seen it, you know, don't worry about it. That's where you saw it. But Team Cosmos now backed up to their 2nd point. And, I mean, anything can happen here on Gullywash. Jay Beneducci on the sniper right now, so try and pull a Mackie here and do some off-glassing. Eulogy gets taken out, but he does force the Uber, and Cranberry still has 100%. So here's the question, how does I6 defend against this? The answer, they just kind of sit behind the choke, and they hope their opponents aren't ready, because now they can be aggressive. They've got the Uber, they can push him whenever they want to. They're thinking about it, maybe, I don't know. And they don't even have to pop. So that's not a mistake by the Carl Sagan Foundation. Not a mistake. They didn't force the pop. They do want to force that pop though. And Cranberry does eat a rocket there. But yeah, they definitely want to force the pop, and if they can't do it, then they're going to have trouble on last. There you go. They do force it a little bit early through this little choke through the doorway. But actually, nice kills here on both Spades and Ricky. Huey trying to get in on the point. And no, he does die to that, so it's just Beat and Eulogy left alive. Eulogy going to lay down a sticky trap here over the door. Very standard. And decent aim on those. Oh, nope. Couldn't even hit Control Muffin once with those. He was just a tiny bit late on that. Now he's getting chased down by Scones. Nice kill. Scones might not be able to get away from this. 9 health left, but he does actually. The Scout's not going to follow him through the choke point. Doesn't want to eat a sticky trap himself. So a good, you know, good play there by whoever that was, probably Beat, to just back off and say, no, I don't want to die here. It would be better if I stay alive, play the conservative route. But the Carl Sagan Foundation pop their Uber now, and Cranberry's on the crit streak, interestingly enough. So this is actually going to be really good for them, as Cranberry has not died. Ricky did go down, but he's the only one who did from I6, and now they're going to have a crit relatively soon. They're going for a back cap here, too, and so they're actually not going to wait for the crits. They're just going to go ahead and try and stop this cap right now. If they can get the back cap, that could end up being around even before the crit streak goes off. Cranberry going to try and get an Uber saw, but it doesn't matter. The back cap is done, and who is that who did it? It was, it had to be, well, let's see, we've got Scones sitting here watching last, so he's going to make sure they don't get, yep, Beat has pushed. Look at this, look what happened. Because Beat got that back cap, and the rest of his team supported him in doing it, he has single-handedly pushed the opposing team all the way back into their last point. And now here comes the crits. They've taken down Control Muffin, Jay Beneducci, there goes Scones to a soldier, and that's pretty much it. What a round there, Immortal 6. Pulling all kinds of surprises out of the bag. A back cap into a crit screeg. I don't think the Carl Sagan Foundation was ready for that at all. Okay, I'm all fixed now. Not really. I'm still going to have to sneeze a lot. But this looks like both of our scouts here for red doing the same thing, trying to protect their demo. Spotted a soldier who's jumping in on top of the medic. Can't quite get that kill. And Ricky here, don't lose that number. He is going to, please tell me some of you have heard that song. He is going to end up doing a lot of damage and forcing the rest of the team back. And you saw that little force pull right there that Ricky just did. When you see like rockets and other things, you know, rocket launchers on the ground, just lying there, if you hit them just right with your rockets, you send them flying over towards you, and so you don't even have to walk all that way just to get the ammo. Kind of nice. Kind of nice. A lot of players are doing that now. It's just it's a cute little thing to do. Sort of like when you're debating and you can do that little pen flipping trick. That's the same kind of thing. It's not really super useful, but it's kind of cute. Anyway, Immortal 6 used their Uber to actually get around behind the opposing team. They haven't gotten the capture yet, though, and they're 4 up right now, so their only benefit is that the enemies don't really know where they are, and now they do. They've shown their hand. Immediately, Soldier jumping in on top of this medic, and can he get the kill? Not quite yet. Cranberry's actually up at a pretty high health here. Jay Beneducci might get needled to death. No, not quite. 67 health left on that Soldier. And now Eulogy is trying to stop a bat cap from the Carl Sagan Foundation. Oh, that had to hurt. Because now Scones is probably going to get this capture. Oh, no. That one had to hurt too. Oh, just some crazy action going on all over the place. That players, I mean, at this point, are just desperately trying to deathmatch here. There is no defense. There is no line set up. It's just, you know, wherever they can find each other, almost pub style. Except that these players are so much better than your average pub stars. And Carl, oh, I'm sorry, Control Muffin, not Carl. But the controls. Oh gosh. Okay. Just breathe, Salamancer. The Carl Sagan Foundation is going to have to deal with a sniper. They know it. They know that they're pushing into a sniper now. That of Spades, who's not too bad. Seen Beat get some pretty hilarious snipes, though. But Spades is going to be sniping. And so they're going to... I mean, what do you do when you have to push into a sniper? Basically, you try and wait for the Uber and just push in, and that way the sniper is practically useless. Or you try and spam him to death or sneak somebody around to the side. In this case, you can't really do either of those because he's in a nice position. Oh, there you go. The Uber is out and just barely in time to stop that headshot from the sniper. Or could have been a headshot, I'm not entirely sure. But Huey's found the demo, ends up taking him down. Meanwhile, the Uber combo is roving around through the... actually roving around back away to their second point, or the midpoint, because they can't get the kills and the deathmatching that they need. And they didn't force enemies to pop. So, oh, Granberry dies. Not going to be good for them, because now, huge Uber advantage, or I thought this, yeah, there is going to be a huge Uber advantage for Nenzal. Wait, I'm so confused. Wait a minute. Did they actually force Nenzal to pop and have an Uber of their own and then drop it? That might have happened. I don't even know now. But the Carl Sagan Foundation trying to push on the middle point. Once again, getting stymied a little bit, and Nenzal is now down as well. So there was going to be an Uber advantage there. Now there isn't. And yet they are still pushing through that choke point, trying to stop Spades here from getting the capture, which they will be able to do. Meanwhile, Spades going for some deathmatch down below the point, treating this like an MGE game, which, by the way, it's not. It's actually a legitimate, 5 CP, playoff game. But he was going for that. Really, he couldn't have gotten away. He couldn't have just run because we would have been shot to death anyway. So in that situation, if you are going to get shot to death, the good instinct to have is just, okay, well, there's no way for me to get out. I'm going to die. I better try and take somebody with me, which is what he did. So pretty standard. Anyway, the Team Cosmos now pushing into the second point, and actually Scones is going to start trying to sneak into last. Oh, it's not going to work. Get out! Oh, no! So Scones just got his butt handed to him there. Being a little bit too aggressive, I think. And maybe he was just trying to force the Uber out of Cranberry. And here's why. Look at how far back the Carl Sagan Foundation is actually playing now. They really want to keep themselves protected. They don't want to have to pop an Uber or lose their medic before it even happens. And there you go. Nice kill on Eulogy by Control Muffin. Or Control F Muffin. I'm sorry. I'm so bad. Control F Muffin, which is what I do every day on Firefox anyway. Just hit Control F, look for muffins. If it's not there, I leave the page. That's pretty much how it is. But here comes the Uber right now. Both teams actually popping it. And, of course, the attacking team did have to pop first just to get through those choke points. But they're doing a pretty good job here of taking down players so far. Can they get the last 3 and get on that point right now? Of course, standing on this point is a scary place to be because you can get spammed very easily. But they took down all of the spam classes, including that Demo Man, which would have been so dangerous. So now I6 pushing back out here. It is still, well, 1-2, and I6 might make it 1-3 here pretty soon at the half if they can keep the momentum up. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that, guys. I am having a little bit of technical difficulties here, but at least we're not missing any of the action as they are pushing a heavy through once again. That is Spades. This is a small enough map that the heavy isn't going to take that long to get to places, but you got to remember that you still are lacking mobility. You're lacking the ability to jump with that guy. So, I mean, yeah, you've got this nice big heavy tank, and it looks like it's working so far just to push forward with it. But he's got to be really careful that he doesn't end up getting way outmaneuvered by the opposing soldiers, demo men, scouts, everything else, and just, you know, completely getting owned.
The control point is being contested.
Anyway, I6 now on this second point once again, and it's a common story on Gullywash, where I was talking to maybe Trekkie, was it? I think it was Trekkie, where he was saying, you know, if you here comes the Uber, by the way, if you lose like 1 point here and you wipe out on it, you still should be able to pretty much defend to the next point because of these narrow chokes, but that just doesn't seem to be what happens a lot, where one team will lose most of their players and then lose like 3 or 4 points in a row, and that is the halftime. Alright, now we're going into the second half, where the Immortal 6, already up 3-1, should try to put this game away. I know I gave a little bit away by saying that the scores made it interesting, so yeah, you know, maybe they'll lose a round or two here, but this is, so far, looking mostly like their game. They've capitalized on their opponent's mistakes very effectively, and this time around, though, they're losing this mid-fight. Never a fun position to be in, because it's, you can always come back from it, but you know, you lose your medic, you lose practically everybody. It's just Huey left alive, and I think he's back in base now. You lose just about everybody, and you're going to lose at least 1 point, probably 2, and you're going to be backed up on a last. Yeah, you can defend last, but wouldn't you rather have won that mid-fight and not have to? Because it's going to be an uphill battle from here. So anyway, both medics do have their Uber charge at about the same rate. I think they're both going to be running regular Uber. Scones found a nice little sticky trap there, which is a sneaky one, but, you know, players know about it, so they know to check. Oh gosh, sorry about that. So, Team Cosmos pushing into the lower lobby now. And Scones finds the soldier, not really paying attention. What was he doing? Eats a lot of damage there, but they are both still, I think, overhealed, so they will be fine. That's Ricky and Huey. Spades on the heavy once again, and pretty much the Carl Sagan Foundation's waiting for their Uber. Beat is in the sniper as well. You gotta be really careful about where you go as a sniper on this last point. Is that Jar of Girardi over on? Yes, it is. Interesting. So my nose is still stuffed, but this is such an awesome game so far that I'm not going to stop casting it. And I do apologize if it's making you be like, come on, Salamancer, you're sick, stop. But, you know, it's just too awesome. So far, here comes the soldier jumping in right now. No medic has popped their Uber yet. There you go. I6 forced the pop first. Oh, that is exactly what Jay Beneducci wanted right here. He is going to die down beneath the point. But does it matter? Because look at this. I6 have lost their Uber. And that is one thing that you absolutely cannot allow to happen when you are on defense. You cannot allow one bombing soldier to force the Uber pop. Because now your opponents have such a huge advantage that they just have to wait for Jay to come back up. And they can wait, I mean, another 45 seconds if they want to. Of course, they will probably not do that. But here comes Jay Beneducci right now. Pretty much playing the heavy. So they've got to hurry this up because Cranberry's getting closer and closer to Uber, and if they wait until 80 or 90%, it's possible for him to get that back up. And there you go. They have pushed in. Jay's coming down beneath the point, and he's going to start trying to deal a bit of long-range damage from that minigun. Cosmos loses the first player on this, but they've got a player on the point, and nobody was able to take care of it. A lot of stuff you have to think about on defense of these last points, but the primary thing to think about is the point itself. And if you lose that, you lose the round. It is now 3-2. Some of my guys were pointing out in the stream chat, that was Win, I think, pointing out that the blue team was actually rolling a Prolander setup. Jay Beneducci tried to jump in there. I kind of like his decision-making on these jumps. He gets really aggressive, and then if he sees that it's not going to work, jumps right back out. And that time around, he did manage to jump right back out. His team, meanwhile, getting some good cleanup kills while he pretty much was out of the fight there for having only like 30 health most of the time. But as a result, he stayed alive, and now the rest of his team, who managed to clean up, will support him going forward. Sounds like a medic just got hit. Maybe not imagining things, but it did sound like that. And Jay has found Eulogy. There he goes. Eulogy is down. So the Immortal 6 having lost their demo. This could end up being a nice quick round here. Oh, they've popped their Uber, though. They're trying to save this point. I don't know if I agree. We'll see what they can do with it. They do force a pop out of the Carl Sagan Foundation, and they've gotten a kill on Jay. They've just got to be careful not to lose too many players now, because it looks as if the second point will get captured The thing they've done out of that is force their opponents to pop the Uber, and they saved their, they saved their demo man, so he was going to be alive for the push onto last. That's fairly important. So I mean, they didn't really lose anything there by popping. They could have. It was a risky shot, but it didn't pay off. But it didn't pay off for the opponents either. So kind of resetting. It will be Immortal 6 sitting on their last point once again. And Ricky standing up here on the pipe as normal, kind of what you do with your roaming soldier. The pocket, of course, going to be staying back with the medic, as well as the demo standing over here on this ledge. And the medic this time around, look at this corner he's standing in. Pretty important spot here, because if they expect their opponent to run a sniper, which they are, sniper will have to. Basically, the only way he can get to the medic is either by walking out here on this ledge, trying to shoot through the pipes, or walking all the way out here. And in either case, I mean, he's going to take so much spam that he'll die instantly. So the Immortal 6 has a good defense set up here. So you got to be careful about letting their medic get too far forward. And there goes Beat though. Jay Beneducci getting one kill. It's sniper versus sniper. And so with that one pick, they're going to push in and start dealing some good damage to the blue team. The medic and demo getting back into spawn. There goes Huey. And the other soldier just barely gets the Uber on him in time to save it. So Cosmos probably going to have to back out here. They've only got 2 players left. It is a medic and a sniper. And sadly, but surely, medic and sniper is not the combo that you want to use to take out your opponents. Nice kill by Beat. Cranberry actually got an Ubersaw kill off on Jay Beneducci the sniper, which is always a fun thing to do. In fact, it's one of the easier things to do to get an Ubersaw on. Spies and snipers both. Spies, you got to be careful because, I mean, there's always face stab territory. But with snipers, what are they going to do? Like, scope in? And you're just like, yeah, whatever, dude. Of course, Girardi and Bushwhacker combo is not allowed. Girardi, I think, is banned from ESEA, so you don't have to worry about that. So as a medic, like when I'm playing pickup games or whatever else, if I see that I'm close enough to a sniper, it'll only take me about a second to cover that distance and get the Ubersaw in his face. That's like 1 or 2 free Ubersaws, because the sniper will not be able to get me, especially if he's trapped in a narrow area. And that's exactly what happened. So a nice, huge Uber advantage here for Cranberry. They're going to push with it right away, and Eulogy is going to take most of it. Setting down, well, maybe not. Setting down some sticks there on the front of the door. And the Uber's popped just to try and get some players up here and stop this defense. The Carl Sagan Foundation, they have lost their heavy. We've got 2 kills so far. Oh, and I'm being allergic to everything, but Team Cosmos losing face roller. Oh, this is not good. They were all the way on their opponent's last, and look what happens when you wipe out all the way back to their own last point. They were not able to set up a defense at any of the number of choke points in between there and here. And now Spades, interestingly, on the spy. So he's gonna, using the normal invis watch actually, kind of a ETF2L style. Yep, he just got shot. He just got spotted. Did they not know he's there? Serious? Are you kidding me? Are you? What? No! 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 That should not have happened. That was twice they should have seen him. Anyway, I6 loses all their players, so the attack failed. But what? Oh, that's ridiculous. Okay, so yeah, and those of you who have watched this before on like Reaver TV or whatever, you have already seen that, so hopefully you remember how ridiculous that was. But I6 now backed up to the middle points again, and they're going to want to start setting up some sticky traps and chokes. They haven't done that, actually, and so now they've got a heavy walking through their own choke point, which can be a pretty scary thing to do, because you are going to get spammed by, like, 15 rockets and a billion sticky bombs, plus the scouts will get on you, so he does get away from that without taking too much damage. But, oh, that was... I still can't get over how crazy that was. I mean, the pill exploded in his face, and he was just like, yeah, whatever. That's totally normal. Sometimes when you fire a pill, it just explodes as soon as it comes out of the grenade launcher. It's fine. I don't know what was going through his head there, but it clearly was not. There's a spy here. And now the soldiers jumping in, kind of rotating and playing with each other, and they, haven't quite taken out, there you go, Spades almost got away with like 6 health. And there you go, Jay now forcing the Uber out of the blue team. A very nice job of him to do that. And look at this, Blues actually lost a point, so that Uber not being very effective for them, as they really would have liked to defend at second or just not pop it at all. Nenzal has about 40% here. And I don't think there's anybody from I6 in position to try and force the pop. No, there's not. Beat is on the engineer. Where's he setting that up? Yeah, pretty much in the standard corner over here, just to build that sentry as quickly as possible. Jay Beneducci on the spy now. And Open Veteran Spades is actually watching the low ground as Heavy, which is something that Heavies do more and more now because they can no longer stand on top of this. It's been changed in the final version so that you cannot get a Heavy up there anymore. So, which is it's a bit overpowered to have a Heavy up there, honestly. So he's going to be watching the low ground and waiting until the Uber comes in. Then he'll walk up and try to clean up anybody getting to the point. Meanwhile, there is a spy, and they've actually popped the Uber early. But you know what? Nice! Jay gets on there and gets the kill for Team Cosmos. Now trying to back away as the Uber is popped for I6, but momentarily they will probably go back in. Yes, they are. Top Shot coming in on the medic. It takes him down, and then gets another kill on Ricky. Can he get the third and fourth here? Looks like maybe not. Eulogy ends up dying to a backstab, and there you go. Top Shot with 3K to take them to 3-3. It is all tied up. So I wonder if we should watch a scout on the way out here. Let's watch Spades, because he just did some pretty crazy stuff in there. But ended up not being able to quite get that round win. So I6 has let the game get tied up, and now it's basically back to the drawing board. They've got to start playing like the I6 that we know, the Immortal 6. And so far, they are playing like a team that doesn't like to win mid-fights. Oh, they do take out Nedzal, though. Really important kill there from Open Veteran, that is Spades. He's got a 2K now. Actually going to go after this soldier here as well. 23 health left. Wow, that's a third kill for Spades. Spots a scout down here. Can he get a fourth? You got to be kidding me if he gets that. No, he did not quite get it. 49 health left on Scones. That was who he was going after. And apparently everybody laughing about that one. Laugh, laugh. I'll laugh too. It's cool. But yeah, that was some pretty crazy stuff there out of Spades. That was some good scout deathmatching. Nobody able to kill him. But 6 standing on their second point once again. They have lost that mid-fight, but this time around they killed the enemy medic, so they're not going to be sitting on last with 100% disadvantage. That's pretty important, that they still get to maintain the second point and maybe make a play from mid. So we'll find out whether they can actually do that in just a bit here, as they've got a slight advantage, but they're not really going to use it to push. They have decided, I guess, that the Ubers are even enough. They don't really want to do that. They want to wait for their opponents to push into them, and that's not a bad idea, as they have the high ground advantage right now. They can spot where the enemies come in from, they can deal a lot of damage, and they lose Spades. Okay. I would not have decided to lose a scout there, but apparently they did. Just kidding. Decided to peek forward. But that is the pick that they needed on Cosmos to try and push in and take this. Soldier there taking a lot of damage, but not taken down quite yet. And there you go, the first casualty of that exchange, Eulogy, but Control F Muffin taken down at the same time. A lot of the Carl Sagan players are looking really hurt right now, and lots of them need to back out, actually. Nedzal still at 130 health, so he'll be okay to build that Uber up for a little while longer. But there you go. Oh, a scout behind, coming in after Nedzal now, and good movement on him means he does not take a single rocket, any damage at all from Face Roller. So Team Cosmos actually needs to back away just to keep their medic alive, and they've lost the high ground advantage. Here comes a soldier chasing in after Face Roller, and Jay goes in to try to get Nenzal. I'm sorry, not Nenzal. Cranberry. Cranberry's still alive. Face Roller trying to pressure them back out of there, and they are out for now, but they will be coming back in pretty shortly, I would imagine. And just as I call it, blue team back in once again and back out because they did not get the kill. They know their opponents are all alive, and they're back in again, because they saw that the choke was not getting camped. So they, wow, this is just some weird stuff out of I6. It's like, do we go in? Do we go out? Do we go in? I don't know. But Jay trying to get a shot off on this scout, and he is probably going to die.
Our control point is being captured.
Yep, Cosmos losing 2 players now. They do have Top Shot standing back on the second point, and he's going to have to deal with a demo who, wow, good jumping in by Eulogy to take down Top Shot, basically for free. So Cosmos has 1 player left alive and a huge Uber disadvantage. It is just Scones here, and he's running back to last.
Control point is being captured.
Tail between his legs, trying to change over to the Pyro. And once again, you usually use a Pyro just on last because of the air blast. On this particular point in Badlands, they're so enclosed that you kind of know where the enemy's going to come from. It's either that upper door or they're going to come from over on the right side. Either case, Pyro rushes up to them when the Uber happens, and he just air blasts them away to completely negate the Uber, pretty much, or negate it for at least 4 or 5 seconds, which is more than half of the Uber. So, it's pretty important to have a Pyro on last. The problem is, on more open areas, the Pyro just doesn't work very well because he can get completely outmaneuvered and can never get his damage into the place he wants. And now he did spot the medic and demo going down here. They've actually popped their Uber early and are coming in below the point. Not really going to help them too much there as the Pyro was there, so was the Heavy. Nenzal is down though, and whoa, Immortal 6 muscling their way into the last point there and just completely dominating it. So it is now 4-3, and that's the I6 that we know here on SalTV. We've seen Immortal 6 played before, and they are always looking pretty solid. So they have about 15 minutes left to just put this game away if they want to. The Carl Sagan Foundation needs 2 more points, which is not insurmountable at all. They've shown that they can do some pretty good stuff in this half. Ricky, Beat, and Eulogy going down once again. I6 going to lose this mid-fight, and they need to back away. They've kept their medic alive so far. Oh, sorry about this. But Cranberry, for how long will he stay alive? He's going to have to retreat, probably back into the base, or at least upstairs, which is what he's doing now. He will get upstairs just fine. And you know, just looking at this right now, just real quick here, as Scones goes down, if I were jumping from this onto that in real life, I would just be like, no, there's no way that you're going to make me jump on that. It's going to, like, break when I land on it. Just look at it. Look at it. There is no way that would not just, like, flip. One of these boards would flip up in the air, and it would break. Okay, so enough of that. Immortal 6 sitting back on their second point once again, as Cosmos has 100% Uber and a player advantage, but they may not all be in position to push. No, they are not. So they do have to wait just a little while before they can push in with this. Want to get their players ready. Probably want to get a pick if they can, or force the enemy to pop Uber. So they may, let me see, Jay Beneducci, this is going to be the guy to watch. If he gets a big buff and goes in to jump the medic, that's what they need to happen. Right now it is not happening, so they are going to stalemate for a little while. And we will see whether Jay, he looks like he wants to go for some full health anyway. Grab the kid over here. He's thinking about moving forward. If he can get Cranberry to pop Uber, that's what he wants. He spots Cranberry. He's going to just start trying to deal some spam, but doesn't want to jump in on top of him. And I don't think he even got a hit there. The thing is, everybody in a competitive play has their hit sounds turned on, so it'll make a little ding when he hits something. If he doesn't hear a ding, he's just going to be like, okay, I didn't get any damage done, so that's not really anything to move in on. And he's going to still hold down this choke. He's got sticky traps protecting him right there, so if anybody tries to chase in after, he can yell at his demo man over the comms to detonate that trap. And the demo's watching anyway, but even if he weren't, that's a pretty useful teamwork tactic to have. Just the demo has to keep his ears open as well as his eyes. And this time around, Jay is jumping in on top of the medic. Medic realizes what's going on, but he has to pop the Uber anyway. Jay is a beast, forcing that pop out of him. And now I6 are in trouble. The Uber is not going to be very effective at all. The only thing it did was save their medic. And here comes the red Uber. Cranberry going to... Oh, looks like he was trying to fake him out. Like he wanted to walk in upstairs and then decided not to. Spades. I was going to call him Scones, but it's actually Spades. Oh, he ends up eating it as well. And it is just Ricky to defend last. He's got a couple players spawning in 3, but... It's right now just him against the demo, and this demo is setting up some sticks already. Ricky can't do anything about that. And there goes the Uber just now from Team Cosmos. So Scones takes some of that. He's going to try and kill the medic. He sneak under here and get another kill. Cosmos losing a couple players now as the respawners do come up for I6, so they may hold on to this just barely, but Cranberry taken down by Scones, who was on fire, by the way. Now it's just one soldier left who is coming in after this, but there you go. That is what you need a pyro for. Even lighting him on fire with a flare gun as he retreats. Doesn't matter too much as he got away with a health kit, but good damage done to Face Roller. He is going to have to retreat away from that. Okay, apologies. Keep having to mute my microphone. But this has been some exciting stuff, and I'm really glad that I chose to cast it, even though it's already been done. I hope that if this was not already seen by you, that I am keeping you entertained. And I gotta stop using the passive voice so much, you know? So, my English teachers always told me it was a terrible thing to do. So, I guess I'll stop. Ubers are just about even, and Beat is still on the Pyro. When you've got an Uber, Pyro doesn't matter as much anymore. And actually, Beat got a little bit aggressive there. Maybe just getting bored. But getting bored on last point is not something you really want to happen with your team. Anyway, here comes the Uber, and Cranberry has it ready to go. this is why the Pyro is so ineffective on most situations, because look at that, he's unable to really get a lot of damage down. He did actually get the kill on Scones, kind of important, but he would have been just as useful, I think, on a Scout or a Heavy or something. And there you go. Oh, man! Carl Sagan Foundation muscled their way into that point to get the tie. It is now tied up 4-4, and it's once again, it's anybody's game here. Control F Muffin. Let's watch his rollout. Not bad. Not too shabby. And he's going to grab the health kit over here for full health. So that is how you do a Demo Man rollout on Gullywash, ladies and gentlemen. Plus, now he's able to spam his opponents into that house. They got to be really careful. Nice air pipe there! He didn't manage to get the kill, but Jay Beneducci and Control F Muffin both down for Cosmos. Meanwhile, Ricky and Eulogy down for the I-6. Oh. And Beat here is actually getting a bunch of capture time down on the point. Even though they're down a man, they just could not get this kill. Beat was thinking about going for a flank on the medic, but he knew that Scout was going to watch him, so decided not to. Both medics do have an Uber. Cranberry using the overdose just to get away because he had about 60%, so that was going to be a 6% speed buff. Nice, huh? As long as he has the overdose out and equipped, then that is a nice little speed buff for him to get away from people with, it's a new word, from and with, put together in the same word. Uber's ready to go for both teams now. Cranberry got his up just in time. Ha ha ha, it's funny. And Ricky jumping straight in, trying to pop the Uber out of Nenzal, and he does. That's always a good feeling. Of course, it's an even better feeling if you get away with it without dying, but it doesn't matter too much, as now they can pop their own Uber, start taking some shots at their retreating opponents. They didn't get any kills, and they look like they're getting a little bit flanked by probably Jay. Okay, nice kill by Eulogy. He spotted Jay going that way, and he just said, nope, you're not getting out of here at all. Go back to the respawn cabinets. And Eulogy is now... Whoa, is he actually behind the enemy team? I think he might be. Problem is, they're losing all their players. He was going to go for like a flank or something, a pincer movement. He takes down Nenzal, but it's only Ricky left alive. And here we go. If Cosmos decides right now they could rush in here, they are doing just that. They have both their scouts, I think, on capping the second point. And it's just Ricky left alive. Oh, no. There's a bunch of respawns. Careful, careful. Oh, be careful. Okay, so this is... No, don't go in there anymore. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, they backed out. Not bad. They got 1 kill, 2 losses. Actually, 1 loss. It was just face roller. Control F Muffin, I think, died earlier. But regardless, that push, if they'd been a tiny bit faster, they could have gotten it. But as it was, the respawns happened. And now Scone is just trying to help his medic build the Uber as fast as possible. Of course, the Boston Basher, if you hit yourself with it, if you don't hit anything else, that is, it does self-damage. And it does just enough that you build at the perfect speed for the minigun. Pretty nice. Jay Beneducci once again on the spy. He's using the Cloak and Dagger, which is, oh, excuse me, a more limited use watch than the regular invisibility watch, but also quite useful. Now, that Pyro running around spraying flames all over the place, I think maybe they realize that there is going to be a spy, or they're kind of expecting one if they haven't seen it yet. So, not a bad idea to just run around and spy check everywhere. But really, I mean, the most common place for a spy with a Cloak and Dagger to come through is here, down below the point. So, we did not see the Pyro checking that out. And Jay, he knows where the Heavy is by knowing where he is. Sorry, no. He knows where the Heavy is, and he just wants to make sure he can decloak. Get behind him. Oh, no! Open Veteran knows what's happening there. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever. Spade's just like, yeah, I knew it. And to be fair, you can hear the decloak sound. So he probably heard the little whoosh of air that comes along with the spy decloaking nearby, and took that down. So now Jay's going to come back up on the sniper. And we'll see if he can be as sneaky with the sniper as he was with the spy. Of course, his opponents should know to expect something like this. But do they? Okay, kind of whiffed the shot there on the soldier, and of course, whiffing that means now they know there's a sniper, so they're going to be hiding from him, and that's going to make his job a lot tougher. So let's see, there's a scout in spawn right now, actually. Just kind of waiting for stuff to happen. And he's getting really aggressive here, goes for the headshot on the medic, can't get it. I think he ended up hitting Ricky instead. And is there a point to your lives? We'll find out whether there's a point to their lives, as it is 4-4 right now, ladies and gentlemen. And whoever loses this match is eliminated from the playoffs. So will it be Immortal 6 moving on to face the black people in an epic rematch, or will it be Cosmos putting it away right now and taking Immortal 6, who I believe were the first seed in Open, taking him down? We will find out in just a bit as Jay Beneducci's looking for the snipe, but of course everybody knows he's there, so he should get one. And no, they're doing quite a good job of preventing him from getting any kills. Spots the soldier actually, and he's taking a lot of hits. Oh, Jay, a little too greedy there with that kill. But we'll see whether Cosmos can recover from that, which they should be able to. I mean, the problem with being Immortal 6 right now is that, yeah, even if you get one kill, trying to push out just leaves you at risk of a back cap, and it would be a game-ending back cap. So they have to play really conservatively. They have to wait for Cosmos to push into them and wipe out. So they're relying on a very strong defense, and they cannot be aggressive here. Or if they could, it would have to be the world's most coordinated aggression, and maybe they just haven't practiced it enough to feel confident with pushing out of Gullywash last. So we'll see. We'll see. Ricky's getting aggressive, as usual. Kind of expect that out of your roaming soldier. Just sit over here. Take some pot shots at people who try to walk in. But I'm having, even my stream chat right now is cheering people on. I've got people cheering for Cosmos. I don't see a lot of cheers for Immortal 6 yet, interestingly enough. But we'll see whether i6 can keep the defense up. There goes a nice heavy kill, though. The Uber is down for i6, so it's going to be at least 8 seconds before they lose this, if they do. But Huey taking down a couple players. Face Roll and Scones both down to actually Eulogy, taking down those players. He's getting a little out of position here, but there you go. They've taken down top shots. And they just need to leave one person on last to stop a back cap, which there can't even be one right now because the 3 players who are left alive from Cosmos are all the way out here. Jay Beneducci does take down Beat, who was on the scout, who's going to try and make a play for second, and instead just walked into a minigun. Never a fun thing to do. And there you go. Now we've got people chanting Go I6 as well. And it looks as if the Cosmos are thinking about making another push here pretty soon. They've got a nice little Uber advantage of 10% or so. That would translate to a couple of seconds, where if they push right at 100%, which looks like what they might want to do, they could get in before the enemy has an Uber. They're doing it. Where is that soldier who just jumped in? It's Face Roller. He's going for the medic. Oh, can he get it? No, 100% just barely for Cranberry, but it doesn't matter. There's somebody on the point right now. There is way too much stuff going on for me to call all of it at once, but look at this. The blue team just barely trying to defend it. They've got to get somebody standing on that point, and they do, but now it's just them. Oh, no, they lost their medic. It's going to be Medic Soldier versus... I'm sorry, they did lose their medic. Medic Soldier versus Scout Medic. Ugh, can't even talk because that was so amazing. And there you go. GG. Carl Sagan Foundation takes it. 4 points in the second half to win. So thank you for watching. Of course, hit subscribe on youtube.com/fatmop for more of this awesome stuff, and I will see you later.